But don't tell me things to say, okay? Because then they're going to say you're my puppet.
I don't care.
You're not my puppet master. I told Dad today that I was never going to talk to you again because every time I talk to you, whatever, I can't really handle it. But whatever, here I am. Because I saw what Dad was saying to you, and, you know, I think it sucks. I think he's being a little bit of a wuss, and I just want to let you know about this sort of agreement thing. I don't think you understand. It's Friday night. My plan is, which it looks like is going to happen, if you and him can't work something out so that it's no longer an illegal situation, then I'm going to spend the weekend collecting evidence, including all the evidence, the educational stuff, etc., and I'm going to go to a criminal law attorney on Monday. That's my plan.
Okay, I understand that.
They can get the restraining orders.
And yeah, and go to the family court and get restraining.
Yeah.
Shut up! And get restraining orders against. Why is this so good?
Why shut up? You're not saying it. You're not.
No, we're not doing this. We're not doing this. Let me talk to her.
No, you're saying to her, you're not going to do it.
Nope. Shut up
Yeah,
and go away.
Yeah,
go away.
You're just making it easy for her because you're saying, I don't know, whatever.
Whatever. Go give up. Fine. Go away.
My girl, don't lie to me. Tell me where did you sleep last night? Where's Maggie?
Fucking hate both of you.
Where's Maggie?
Fuck off.
I talk to you, my dear.
Anyways, that's my plan. What do you think about that?
I told your father, I think you heard that I would come up with my 3 or 4 things by midnight tonight. So to me, hopefully that will prevent you from doing that.
Let's do it right now.
I cannot do it. I'm not going to do it now. I cannot. I need to think about it. I need to get in a place where I can just kind of sit down, clear my mind. It's been a long stream.
That's not how it works. That's not how it works. You don't get until midnight tonight.
Well, okay.
Or I'm going to take the action. I'm offering you, let's do it right here, right now.
And once you invest.
I'm not going to sit there spending all that time collecting evidence, preparing to go to a lawyer, and then drop it. I'm not going to do that.
I understand that.
Fucking bullshit with you and Dad 24/7 for 5 years. You don't get to tell me, give me 5 hours. No.
It's not about writing 3 things down. It's not about that. The 3 things you're going to write down are idiocy.
So what is it about?
All right, well, let's go over it.
I got something to say. Sit over there. You say you want partial, if not more, custody, depending on how you're feeling minute by minute. Is that correct?
No.
Yes, that's what you just said.
All
right, now, shut up. Now, you want some money to get started. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And what's the other thing you want? You want to do some stuff on YouTube. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
I want to get a job.
All right, so shut up. Rewind the tape of our lives. A couple of weeks ago, you had full custody of the 4 minor children. Arguably, I had semi-custody of 2 of them. Is that correct?
Yes.
Unopposed by me. Correct? You had custody of the kids. Is that correct?
I had custody.
You had it for years. Okay. You had at your disposal 6 figures of money. Is that correct?
No, that is not correct.
That is correct.
No.
Yes, it is correct. 6 figures of
No.
money.
That's not correct.
And you also had me telling you, encouraging you to do YouTube. Is that correct? And you had you weren't doing anything other than that. I did not ask you to even get a job. All I asked you to do is take care of 2 children who were in school. Isn't that correct? And do YouTube. Isn't that correct? And what did it go? How did it go? And you're not going to say the other thing. Well, I want to make sure that your father and blah, blah, blah. I didn't ask. I said you can. I said, I don't want anything to do with you on that level. And I even said you could abuse me in that area, which I regret. I've tried everything under the sun. So if you say, I want that again, you need to tell us how you're going to do that without doing what you did, because otherwise you belong in jail. It doesn't make any sense, Cortney.
I think if you gave me some money to get an apartment, I can get a job, pay for the apartment, have the kids live with me.
Which kids? Which kids?
Well, I would say all 4 of them. You know, half and half.
Okay, so we'll rent another house. I'll give you money. You'll have all 4 kids live with you. Then what? Why did 2 of your kids move out of this house? Why? And they've never looked back. When have they ever said, I want to go back to living with mom? They've never said it. The only thing they feel bad about is they left the other 2 here to live with you, and those kids do not want to live with you. They don't want to talk to you. Wake fucking up, lady! Wake fucking up! You're living in a fantasy world. You had 20 years to be a decent mother to these kids. You've never done it. Why not?
I have been a decent mother.
No.
Why don't we want to talk to? Why don't they want to talk?
Why are you in a criminal situation right now then if you've been a decent mother? Why? Say it. Say it. Say it. You're going to have to say it to the courts. The only thing that's going to keep you alive. Say it. Say it.
I don't even know what you're talking about, but I have a problem.
Say it. What's the
with you.
ingredient? What's the missing ingredient? Everyone knows it. What's the ingredient? What is it?
You and I can't really live together or work
No,
together.
that's not it.
That is it.
No. We weren't living together, moron. We weren't living together for months. We weren't talking. I let you have them to do your thing, to shoot your shot.
That's
And
not
it
true.
didn't happen. So
That's not
what's the
true.
fucking problem? You have to answer these questions.
No, I don't. You didn't.
Yes, you do.
No, you didn't. You didn't not talk to me for months. You talked to me.
Yes,
every day.
I did.
No, that's not
All right.
true.
Grace, answer that question. All right. All right. Wait a second. Wait, get out of here.
I moved out with Dad.
Okay. So you're saying the problem is me talking to you. Right. That's the problem, right?
I'm
That's
saying
the
that.
problem. Wait. That's the problem. Me talking to you, right?
I'm not
That
answering
counts
that.
for
I'm not
millions of
saying
dollars,
that.
thousands of. Yes, you are saying that.
I'm saying
Yes,
that.
you are saying that.
I'm saying that you and I have a problem in our relationship, and
Okay,
it
but I'm
cannot
saying
be
to
worked
you,
out.
I'm saying to you that I left the relationship and basically did not. Right? I was like, I don't want to know what's going on because the
That's
theory
not
is
true.
no.
Let me talk.
No.
Let me talk.
Okay, well, Grace was there. I barely had any contact with you
That's not true.
from January until April of last year. That's the truth.
Okay, from January to April, maybe, yeah.
That's 4 months.
Yep,
How did it go?
it went okay.
No,
Let me talk, please. Let me talk, please.
it did not go okay. It did not
It
go
was a
okay.
difficult situation because the kids didn't have their father around. They didn't know what was going on.
But that's
So I think
because
in
you said
In the
you needed that.
circumstances, it was as good as it could be.
No. You're saying it's my fault. Someone
I'm not
at
saying
fault
it's your
here.
fault.
Courtney, someone is at fault here. Someone is at fault here, objectively.
Wait, let me
Someone is at fault here, objectively.
let me talk.
It's not both of us. It's one of us or the other of us. This is what you're going to be able to, the only thing you're going to be able to ever say is that you fled the house for fear of a maniacal blah, 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 blah. So shoot your shot. It doesn't hold up. You are wrong about that.
Okay, I can speak to this because I left here with Dad in January of 2022, and I lived with him in a car, and then in an RV, and then we were at a hotel for a little while, and that went on until probably April, and I don't think I texted you basically more than once or twice, and we saw the guys a couple times and had them over at the hotel.
That's right.
Okay, Charlie, my 16-year-old brother, I've asked him what happened when we were gone, because I didn't really talk to them either, because I was just like, all right, it's been too crazy. I'll just give them their space. He goes, that was one of the worst times of my life. It was totally crazy. It was so depressing. I never want to do that ever, 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 ever again.
Maggie.
How do you explain that? You say that that's because their father wasn't there, but then why were you upset? If you wanted, if the problem was Dad, wouldn't you be happy if Dad was gone?
Okay, but it was a huge shift, and we had such a tumultuous time before that like it was just kind of like just trying to kind of stabilize and like get something going. It wasn't like it was strange.
I can understand the kids being sad because their dad isn't around, but not you, because you claimed that he was the problem. So why were you moping around?
You should have been walking on air.
You should have been free. That was your whole thing. I can't do
it
with
was
him
unresolved.
or, to be honest, me. If I had stayed, you would not have been okay with that.
It was
You
unresolved.
wanted
Therefore, it was unresolved. Therefore, there was like it was difficult to just.
Dead. You want me and Grace dead. You want me and Grace to never have existed, and that will allow you to be a great mother to your remaining children. That is the logic of what you're saying.
No, it is not.
You are bananas.
It is not the logic.
Why did you say that I had to leave this house?
I'm sorry.
I didn't. I already explained that. I'll explain it again. You said, please, like, I'm so tired. I just want to go and rest.
No,
And
I
I really, you did on stream. You said, I'm so tired. I just would really like to do that. And I was like,
I'd like to be
okay,
Well, here are two witnesses if you want. But I'm going to talk to them. But they can tell you how great it was here for 4 months.
and I wanted that to happen for you. So much so that I said something that I shouldn't have said and made it worse for you.
So, because I was tired, you told me to get in my car and drive half an hour to a different location. And then lied to me and made me drive half an hour back over here. Is that correct? That's how you took care of me being tired and sick?
I don't know. I can't really explain it in any other way.
I can't really explain it.
The way I just explained it.
Because it doesn't make any fucking sense.
It makes sense to me. It makes a lot of sense
It
to
makes
me.
sense to me. What the fuck does that mean? It doesn't make sense.
I made a poor decision because I really wanted you to get some rest.
No, you didn't. then why would you tell me to get in my car? Why would you say, no, Grace, stay there or just go?
Why did she have a problem with you calling me and texting me? Why?
Why did you say, Ben, I don't want you to contact her, and Grace, I want you to leave that location, drive half an hour when you're sick and tired to a different location by yourself?
Tell her what it's about.
So you could get some
Why?
rest. So you could get some
So
rest.
that I could be alone by myself in a garage that's cold?
So that you could get some rest. Yes.
So I
And
could.
take a break from all of this stuff. Yes.
But then you didn't follow through, so I had to come back over after you endangered my sister. I had to drive half an hour back over here.
I did not.
It's not true. You do not care about me like that. That's a lie.
It is not. I'm sorry that I made that decision, but I did it in a moment of just like not thinking clearly.
When you asked me to leave, why did you say you had a problem if Dad talked to me? If he texted
Because
or
I
called?
wanted you to get a break from this drama. I wanted you to.
But you know that I appreciate when Dad texts me and calls me and says it's going to be okay. Why did you say?
Yeah, that's fine. I just didn't want you to be like in like hour-long conversations with him and me. Of course, I didn't mean that he can't say, "Hey, it's going to be okay." You know, of course
But
not.
if you don't want me to be in long conversations, why do you do this to me? Why? You're such a liar. You don't care about that. You're such a liar. It's totally fabricated. You wanted me out of this house because you think that I've stolen your husband from you, and you want me out of here so that you can get it back. That's why.
That's
Not
not
because
true.
you give a shit about me.
Yeah,
That's
right.
not true.
Because why wouldn't you have told me? Of course, Grace, you can stay there and go to your room and take a nap.
I'll bring you some nice food.
And I'll bring you some nice food and I'll take care of the guys. Why would you tell me to drive half an hour away? Why? And say that my father, you're offended if he contacts me. Why? Because I'm the other woman that you want out of this house, right?
No, that's not true.
But it doesn't make sense the other way, Mommy.
It does make sense.
Why wouldn't you say, Grace, go take a shower, go take a nap?
And you know what
Why
that
wouldn't
is?
you say that? Why?
And you know what that is? You know what that is? That's called sexual abuse of a minor. Because this started when she was a minor. That's abuse. You're crazy. She never did that. And the judge is not going to listen to you going, no, that's not true. Psychosexual abuse of a minor.
You said when I was.
Judge is gonna
You
hear
said.
this and it makes sense. You going, no, that's not true, is not going to make sense. Grace only has to write this down and bring it to the finest criminal lawyer in Rhode Island.
You said when I was.
morning,
you
and
s-
then you can keep saying, no, that's not true, all the way to the slammer.
And then you came up with these disgusting allegations about what my father and I have done. You are a disgusting person for coming up with that stuff. You said when I was 16, you said that I had stolen your husband. You wanted me out of the house. I left. And then you said you wanted me dead. You admitted. You said, I wish she killed herself. You said that when I was
All right,
16.
we've gone over this many, many times. I'm not speaking to it now.
Go ahead. Don't speak to it. You'll have to speak to it when I bring it to a child abuse, criminal
Okay.
abuse lawyer.
Okay.
Because that is what you did. And you're a liar.
Okay.
And that is sexual abuse. And
Well,
it's.
let's say that's what you did. Should you go to jail?
Should you go to jail? I left. I lived on my own, essentially. When I was 16, because you came up with this crazy idea that because I was friends with Dad, that I was stealing your man. And then you came up with all these crazy sexual allegations to bolster your thing when I was a minor and I was in high school and I dropped out of high school because of you fucking torturing me with this stuff. And then you admitted I had suicidal thoughts and you said, I hope she kills herself. That is, I do feel like that. I wish she would kill herself. You said that.
We've already gone over this many times. I've explained why I said that, and there was a reason why I said that. And it was kind of brought out of me, like, you know, like it wasn't something that it wasn't something that like I was thinking about all the time.
You don't think maybe you're a little fucking crazy?
Maybe.
Maybe? To do that to your 16-year-old daughter?
Yeah, I'm sorry,
I
Grace.
put up with it for 5 fucking years. Actually, since 15.
But
5
what-
fucking years, and I put up with it on the internet too. When you started saying this shit, and people ask you questions, and you tell them your lies about your fucking allegations about gross stuff, and I sit there and tolerate it.
Because you've got the power.
Yeah, so say Cortney believed Grace was a victim of sexual abuse by Ben. Let's just say you believed that. Why would she want her child, who was the victim, to kill herself? Because she knew I wasn't a victim of sexual abuse. She made that up whole cloth because she had, when my dad and I started hanging out more when I was 15, she came up because she's got a screw loose with this idea that I was stealing her sexual partner, her husband, that I ruined her marriage. And she has wanted me out of every house that my family has been in ever since. I have never been welcome. Never! Never welcome in any house that this family is in. You want me out of here. You don't care about Dad. You'll talk to him all day. You want me gone. You want me out.
And all the kids have seen what's happened to you, and they don't want to go anywhere near me for years.
I became friends with Dad. I dropped out of high school because of the fucking abuse that you rained down on me for doing that. I got sick. I'm sick a lot. I'm tired a lot. I'm smoking, whatever. And I put up with it because I don't know. I guess I must have been crazy, but you did that.
And you made the kids feel like if they did it, you were going to ruthlessly punish them. Like you got punished, right? It
Yeah,
all fits,
and you
Corky.
and you made all of my siblings fucking believe that I was some kind of a sexual weirdo. That I was doing something weird with my fucking dad. You gross person. Gross. You're fucking gross. There was never any sexual abuse. You said you had visions of me and my dad
Careful.
copulating. You said you went to the park and you envisioned that and you screamed out. You don't think maybe you've got a problem?
Yeah, I do think maybe I have a problem.
You don't think maybe you should put the fucking gun down?
I don't have a.
You want to face this in court when I tell people this? You think you're gonna win?
I don't
You
have a
think
gun.
No, yes you do, because you say to my dad, right? Because you're not afraid of him. You don't care. You love talking to him all day long. You say to him, I don't have to come up with an agreement.
I didn't say that. I said I would. And I said, let's get some mediation. And I said, okay.
You say I need until
Makes
midnight.
No sense at all. Makes no sense at all.
You say I'm going to use my children's money to pay for a mediator so that I can write a couple things down to make an agreement.
For a situation which you were already in and utterly failed in.
And you say maybe I want to have joint custody and maybe I want to have some money and maybe I want to do YouTube, which all of those things
right here.
you had.
Ask them if they want you to have custody of them. They don't. You got to solve your problem. They don't want custody. There's no custody dispute at all. The kids are going to say, I feel unsafe around my mother because she's crazy. Maggie and Joe, come up here.
Okay.
Come upstairs.
Not to mention all of the abuse in early childhood, homeschooling that never happened, and then you had me commit fraud to cover your ass for doing that when I was a child, which I have documentation of. And that's just the tip of the iceberg.
I said that I would come up with some things on.
Why are you talking to me as if you have the power? Why?
Grace,
Why?
I really want to resolve this. I really do. I really do.
Why? Because you realize what you fucking done?
No, I just think like you guys all need a break from this. And if your father and I can work out a separation agreement, I think we'd all be a lot happier.
All right, let's work it out then. Let's work it out. Because I'm pretty sure the testimony that I just gave here, it's not even the tip of the iceberg as far as the rats, physical, sexual, emotional neglect and abuse that you fucking 5 years of fucking calling your daughter the other woman and you think you're gonna get custody? Your own daughter? You realize that there is you don't have anybody on your side with that one. Even if you thought that I was being abused, nobody is on your side for blaming the victim of this supposed abuse and saying that you want her to kill herself and getting sexually jealous of these supposed things you think is going on. Nobody in their right mind is on your side about that one. You can be angry at Dad if you think something happened, which you're crazy, so you make up all sorts of things, but nobody is on your side about being sexually envious of your daughter because you think she's stealing your husband.
I know.
Nobody.
I know.
But you did that.
I do want joint custody.
You had joint custody. You could argue.
I want legal joint custody.
Okay. You want it, but you had it. And then you committed a crime by abandoning your children. You endangered your daughter. You have not contacted your children for weeks on end, not told them your location. And your children have said that they experienced emotional abuse and neglect, as well as physical in terms of food and stuff, while you were their custodian. So I don't know if it's a question of what you want.
I believe your father was okay with joint custody.
I don't think it matters what my dad is okay with. I think it's about what the courts are okay with.
Well, I thought we were trying to stay out of court.
Not if you're going to act like this, we're not.
I'm talking about like the exact thing that you guys wanted to talk about, and I don't see how I'm acting any.
So you just sit there and say, I want joint custody, even though you had joint custody and you abused the kids and admitted you did. But now you want joint custody when you are living in a car and actively committing a crime of abandoning your spouse and children. And
If we could work out this separation agreement, then it hasn't been that long that I've been in the car, and I don't think I abandoned them. I don't think I did it in a way that I just found it an impossible situation and I left without any plans. And I don't think that's
it's called abandonment.
I don't really think that's I don't think that's really what that law, and I could be wrong, but I don't think that's really what that law is talking about.
Leaving and refusing to support in any way your spouse and children.
I'm not refusing to support you. I've said many times that when I get a job and I get on my feet, I will do everything I can to contribute to the family.
But actively, you are refusing any support.
I have nothing to support you with right now.
Perfect. Say that to the judge.
Well, I mean, that's just true.
You refuse to cook for your kids. You refuse to take care of them. You refuse to drive them if they need a ride somewhere. This is not looking good.
I don't really know what to say. I can't cook and clean if I'm going to be with your father, but if I was...
You think that's a valid excuse? You better say he's an abuser then. Because if you're just saying, I just don't like the guy, and so therefore I abandoned my children, that's not going to work.
I didn't abandon my kids.
You did.
I didn't.
You're not providing for them. You're not cooking for them. You're not supporting them in any way. You do not talk to them. That's called abandonment. They don't know where you are.
I've been on stream, and I've also talked to them in the chat, you know, so it's not like I've just like
tell that to the judge. Tell that to the judge. You won't answer their calls.
That's not true. Nobody's
You will
called
not.
me. I would totally answer their calls.
You haven't contacted them.
I've talked to
Yeah,
them.
you want joint custody when your relationships with those kids are currently severed. Tommy said to me the other day, I hope she goes to a homeless shelter and never comes back. You want to live with him?
Yes.
I don't think anybody cares about what you want. That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense.
Isn't it possible that like it's all been so rough that they just want to say like, well, you know, when mom's around dad, it gets crazy. So we'll just go with dad. Like, isn't that possible? Like more than
when
like,
mom's around dad, mom gets crazy. Me and dad left. You were still crazy. The problem is not my father. You have an illusion about that.
okay.
My dad is a good guy.
I don't think it was crazy, but it wasn't like, it was just a rough time. It wasn't crazy.
Charlie said to me when me and dad left and they were here alone with you that it was the worst time of his life.
I'm really sorry for that. I wish.
No, you're not, because you want to put him back in that position where he and his 3 younger siblings are living alone with you. He said that was the worst experience of his life.
Okay. Yes, part-time, yes. And I think part of the reason why it was bad was
What does that mean?
because it was unresolved. It was unresolved, and it was just like,
So you abused your children because your relationship with their father was unresolved? Go ahead and tell that to the judge. Tell that. That'll work.
I did not abuse them.
You were emotionally neglectful. You were out of it. You were having mental issues, and you did not care for those children.
I did.
You did not provide food on time.
Yes,
You did not provide them with hygiene. You did not
I did.
take care of them. You were
Definitely.
out of it. They would tell me you would just sit on the couch and stare off for hours and hours, and they'd ask you a question, and you would not respond. And then they'd ask you again, and you'd say, what? That's called abuse.
Sometimes, yes, they would ask me questions when I was texting or even like just sitting there, yes, and I didn't hear them because I was really deep in thought. But I did not sit on the couch for hours and hours staring. I did not do that.
Well, you did that in my childhood. You did that. So
I
I
didn't
believe
think
that.
I did.
Well, Mom, I don't think you understand. They are old enough to say that we don't want to live with our mother.
I understand that.
And if I go on Monday with them to the family courts and get a restraining order against you, then nobody's going to let you have custody over children who want a restraining order against you.
I understand that.
But you're just going to sit there and say you want joint custody.
Yes.
Well, I have nothing to say to that. I mean, I don't know what that could possibly mean. That's like somebody saying, like,
But Grace, weren't you saying like, hey, you know, and your father was kind of like, yeah, take the RV and you can have the kids visit you there. And like, you know, like it's not like you guys weren't saying that. Like,
no thanks. You said, nope, I don't want it. So the offer's off the table.
No, but what I'm saying is like, you were okay with me being around them then, and they presumably would have been okay with being around me then, but now, no. What's the difference? It was like yesterday.
Visiting is different than custody.
Okay, your father really didn't say much when I said joint custody. He didn't say like, no. So I assumed that he was like, okay, yeah, sure.
I don't care what my father wants. I am sitting here on behalf of my siblings. I heard what you did to Maggie. I've seen what you do to my siblings. I am not going to allow you to have joint custody over them. And neither are they. They're going to say, we don't want to live with our mother. You think they're just going to force kids to live with a woman they don't want to live with? All 5 of us, and maybe even John, come to the court and say, like, this woman, like, here's what she's done to us? You think they're just going to say, like, well, screw you guys. You have to live with her half the time. What?
I don't really know. I don't know what's going to happen, but I do want joint custody.
Okay, you want it, but can you admit that you are not going to get it?
I don't know if that's true.
In what scenario do you see yourself getting this joint custody?
I really don't know, but I think the lawyers can figure that out if it had to come to that. But I would rather I'd rather have a mediator and go a much cheaper, easier route and, to have a discussion about it with somebody. I would like this to be resolved.
All the mediator is going to say is, what do you want? You're going to say joint custody. And my dad's going to say, that doesn't make any sense because it bumped it up. And the mediator is going to say, okay, yeah, I can see how that doesn't really make sense. And apparently you're just going to sit there and say, I want joint custody.
Well, I mean, maybe the mediator...
Me and my siblings' money is not going to that, Cortney. No way. I fucking mediated enough of your fucking bullshit. Fuck you and mediation. Fuck you. Fuck you.
I think it's normal, to have a mediator sit down and help out with an arrangement. I don't see why that's such a threat. We get 2 hours free. Why not even give it a shot?
Because it's going to be the same thing. There's just going to be another person there who says, okay, can we do this or this? What do you think they're going to offer you? Well, maybe, Cortney, you can't get joint custody, but you could get partial custody?
They might know, what generally
What kind of secret way?
They might know more about, the laws in Rhode Island and what generally happens in these situations and be able to kind of smooth things over.
A mediator?
I think it's a good first step.
But you realize, Cortney, that you are on a live stream with your daughter who you have admitted that for 5 years you have traumatized by accusing her of being your husband's mistress.
I didn't admit that. You said it. I did not admit it.
You said the reason I said those things. So you did admit that you said those things.
I would say that those things that were said, I think it's a complicated situation, and I'm not, because of all the stuff going on, I don't really want to say I said this or I said that. I get it. This is a complicated situation.
Well, you said it. You admitted to it. So you want to go there. You did say it.
I don't know what to say, Grace. Obviously, it wouldn't make a lot of sense for me to say one way or the other what has happened.
No, it would make sense for you to say the truth. But if you don't want to say the truth because you're afraid it'll get you criminally prosecuted.
When litigation is being threatened, it's not wise to
tell the truth.
Say all kinds of things. It's not wise, no.
It's not wise to tell the truth.
It's not wise. It's not wise to try to answer questions. No, it is not.
I agree. If somebody is threatening you with prosecuting you for crimes that you've committed, you shouldn't admit to those crimes, even though you have done them. Right? I agree.
Okay.
I agree. Gibbon says, I am genuinely curious as to why Cortney wants joint custody. I have a theory, but go ahead. Go ahead. Why do you want joint custody?
I want joint custody because I think I can provide my kids with the time that I have with them with a stable, good life.
In a car.
No, not in a car, obviously.
Well, you're in a car.
Right, which is why it would be nice if I could get some money to get an apartment.
Why should you get money for an apartment?
So that I could take care of my kids.
But why? You have there's an established line of you abusing your children.
I don't think I abused them.
You admitted to it. You can say all you want. I mean, it's on tape. You admitted to it.
Yes, I understand that.
I have an audio recording of you saying, I don't want to be your mother anymore. Goodbye, kids.
Yes, you do. There's a lot of stuff against me. I understand that.
Well, I mean, so you want us to give you money so that your kids who do not want to live with you and have, as of now, basically no relationship with you, so that you can fight to have them live with you? What are you talking about?
I don't really think like the kids nor you or any of you guys should be really too much a part of this process. I think it should be between your father and I.
Oh, so the children that you have abused shouldn't be part of the process of where they live or which parents they go with.
They will be in the court. Yes, they will be in the court. They will be asked that. Yes. That is part of the process, I think.
So the kids should be involved in the process.
They have to be, and I wish that would never happen.
Well, then involve me in your process with Dad for 5 fucking years. I'm your child.
I know that, Grace.
You're such a fucking, you are unbelievable. You know that? You are an unbelievable person. You are unbelievable. You hate me.
No, I don't.
You hate me.
No,
You
I don't.
make me ill.
I don't hate you.
You hate me. The meaning of hatred is to wish somebody harm.
I
You
don't
wish
wish you
me
harm.
harm. You're happy when I'm sick. You're
No.
happy when I leave in the
No.
rain, driving half an hour away, and I'm in a cold garage by myself. You say, because you're demonic, you flip it on its head and you say, because I want you to get some sleep, Grace. And then you don't even come over here to take care of the guys, so I have to drive all the way back.
I'm
Who cares
sorry.
so much? Why did you come over?
I'm sorry that that's what happened. I'm sorry I said that.
Well,
and
you
made
don't
do
give
that.
a shit, obviously.
I do care. It was a bad decision on my part, and I'm sorry that you had to drive all the way over there and come all the way back. I'm really sorry about that.
No, you're not.
I am.
Why? So why would you be torturing me right now if you're so sorry? Why would you be sitting there saying, I want joint custody, even though there's no way that you could possibly get joint custody?
I think because of the way things have been going, it's been tough, but I think if we separated and things were kind of written down, then joint custody would make sense. Things would be resolved, and I could be the mother that I would like to be.
Joint custody, when you told your daughter to kill her, that you hope she dies, when you had your daughter commit educational fraud to the Department of Education to cover your ass for not educating your children for years upon years upon years. You had me sign the papers with your name. You had me fabricate the documents. You had me write the homework to pretend we've been educated.
I don't know anything about that.
You don't know anything about that? Well, I have the documentation, so.
Okay.
You sat there, you gave me the laptop, and you said, Grace, fake it. Fake that we did homeschooling this year for each of the guys. And
I
you
don't remember
promised
that.
me, you know what's the saddest part? You promised me every time that you would do something nice for me after I committed fucking fraud for you, and you never did it. Not once. You never actually did something nice, like take me somewhere. You just fucking used me. And you'd make me go in and hand them the documents because I was a kid, so they'd take them from me. And you made me fucking scramble around, coming up with all of the reports for my fucking 5 siblings, and fake the grades, and fake the books that we read, and fake the math, and write the reports and I would have to write with my left hand to fake Charlie and Tommy's childish writing, right? And you said, yeah, do that. Year after year, like for 6 years straight at least. You did that, and the attendance cards, I remember I would print them, and I'd have to sit there filling out, oh, maybe we missed 16 days this year. And that's just one of the things. How about when Dad was working and you had rats living in the house? He was working all day teaching. He'd come home and try to catch the rats and kill them and put out poison. You left the kitchen disgusting, moldy dishes every day. You'd sit there and tell me to clean up all of it. Disgusting. Grime coating the cabinets. Mouse and rat feces everywhere. Sometimes in the food. Every box of cereal nibbled at. The bag was nibbled at. We knew mice or moths or rats had been in there. You were staying at home. You didn't have a job.
That's
How
not
do you explain that?
okay. I think you're getting the timeline a bit confused.
How are you going to explain that? No, that was before Abyssinia. How are you going to explain the rats? Why didn't you fucking clean the kitchen? Why didn't you tell your children? Why didn't you have chores? Why? And you want custody?
Yeah.
What the fuck are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about? Taking John when you were frustrated, taking him by the hair, pulling him around the house like this, smashing his face into the granite countertops because you were upset and because he was like a sweet boy and you could do that to him. You couldn't do it to me. I wouldn't let you do that, but you did it to him. You're gonna get custody? But you can just sit there. You know all of that happened. How about shoving me upstairs in an attic for 5 years during the restaurant and having me watch your children for 10 or 12 hours every day when I was 8 years old till I was 12 years old. How about that one?